Boom.
Perfect, dude.
Right? Check that
Dude.
out.
Yeah, man.
We have a, no. It could be better, right? It could be better. We'll work on it in the future.
Yeah, this is
But
a great start, though.
we're in the back seat, right?
We're in the backseat.
We're in the back seat, right? Hold on
That's
one
pretty
sec.
good, dude.
I gotta get my controller. Hold on a sec.
Okay.
One sec. We gotta do this because I know that the controller won't work unless I reboot it back up.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go back into here real quick. Go live. And now we are in there. This is Kyle. Welcome to the official first stream of Secret of Evermore.
Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah.
It's officially the first one that we're going to record.
Probably. Yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah.
Wow. But you know what? I'm just going to chalk it up to growing pains.
Yeah, right? Growing pains. There was a lot of funny stuff, a lot of entertaining stuff that happened, but, you know, I'm actually going to do a local recording here as well. We're not taking any risks moving forward, right?
Yep.
For now. But we're here. You know. Let's let me go. Like, I looked at our analytics, Kyle. You're not going to believe it. Though nobody stuck around, 8 different people stopped by our stream last time we streamed this.
We're growing. That's good news.
We are growing.
So, now, you had told me you also had made a YouTube.
Yeah. Yes, it is Backseat Driving. And we will be uploading VODs there because they're, from my understanding, is that Twitch does not allow for like unlimited storage of VODs anymore. So you need to have a secondary place to move stuff over to and whatnot. And I will be doing my best to move stuff over there. I'm currently just in VOD format, but eventually, hopefully, in some sort of edited capacity, right? So that's what we're looking at in the future. You know, we're making strides. You know, eventually, you know, we'll get things a little more smoothed out here.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the goal, right? Is have fun and just make little improvements where we can, when we can, you know. And
yeah.
It'll be good. So, I am trying to find the YouTube, but I can't find it.
Oh well, it's very new, so it might be difficult to find because it's so new and it's got. But if you do Backseat Driving, it will be there. But maybe it just doesn't come up. Unless it's unless you got like a video upload, right?
Oh, could be. You'll have to link me, and then
I will link you, right? So we'll link it. We'll put it eventually, like in the description of what we got going on here, and whatnot. And we'll try to get the archives all moved over there because with our current Twitch level of partnership, we won't be able to keep VODs around that long. Right. So we'll have a week after a stream happens to get that kind of offloaded and up there right now. So if you're going to catch this VOD right here on Twitch, we will get a link up to the YouTube, and then we'll try to get things moving forward, right? So we're going to continue with Secret of Evermore. We will eventually move to Devil May Cry 3. And after this, and then we will see what is the future after Devil May Cry 3. But anyway, we've got some work
I think the next thing we're going to do is watch a speed run of this game, right?
Oh, yeah, we are going to watch speed, yeah.
So I was thinking we could do that in like Mystery Science Theater 3000 format.
Oh, okay, cool. So, maybe that's what we do. Maybe we get ourselves a little like we have the backseat, then we got our little heads, playing games, MST3K style, or maybe we get puppets. Maybe maybe that's the way we do this, right?
I kind of like the idea of puppets.
It's
kind
really
of like underdone.
Statler and Waldorf. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can see it. You got a Statler vibe going on.
Okay. I'll take it.
All right. I can't recall if I maxed out the axe. Let's see. Did I max out the... I don't
think there's much point in doing that right now.
Okay. Well, because
you're going back to the castle to talk to Tinker.
Do I have everything?
If you beat Tiny, you have everything, because I do remember getting the other 2 items from Prehistoria.
Well, let's see here. Let's take a look real quick. We got the gauge, we got the wheel, we got
the wheels and the gauge. Yep, that's all you need, bro.
Okay. All right. Then we know that this guy's toast. Boom. I remember we were so close to leveling. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I got distracted. I'm gonna level this. There's only a couple things left. I got hella distracted though. When I didn't know what happened to you, I was like, did Kyle get got? Like, what the hell? I was so confused.
Oh. Yeah, I got by my sleep.
Did you fall asleep like in the chair, or were you like?
Oh yeah, I woke up in the chair and I was like, what the heck? It was so funny. But to be honest with you, I was kind of nodding off, but I thought I could push through it.
Mm-hmm. You said you were getting a little tired too, and I was like, "All right, we'll just."
I was
just a little further, and we'll be all set. All right.
Yeah, and it wasn't very far either. I just kind of cocked out,
Right, this guy sells some stuff too. No, but I would like to purchase some spells. See what we got here. Get you some limestone, right? Yeah, let's get some limestone.
Now we have a chat now, right?
We do, and I believe we do have a chat.
So if I were to let's test this. So I should see that pop right up on screen then, right?
I think so. It should be implemented. What the? Something made a noise. That's for sure.
I just said test.
Yeah, it's there. It's very tiny. It's in the corner. It is there.
I don't see it at all.
It was so tiny. It was. Test it again, Kyle. Do it again.
So we might have to tweak that a little.
Hold on. Let me see if I can tweak it right now. Hold on. Can I It's so good. Yeah. See, it's there, right? Do you see it? It's the text is really tiny. Hold on a second.
Okay, so yeah, you can definitely. I would crank that up.
Let me see if I can. I can crank it up.
Yeah,
Kyle,
if you're using Streamlabs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me know.
Okay. Do it again. Oh, okay. It's very. It's so small.
Yeah, you've got to increase. I think it's fine in the corner somewhere, but it's definitely got to be bigger.
Hold
you
on,
make
guys.
that 5 times bigger.
I'm working on it. Give me 1 second, real quick. Okay. Settings. I'm on the settings, real quick. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's multiple different settings, right? There
are, yeah. Hold on, I'll try to find it too.
Oh, I'm here. Okay. Chat delay, message delay, font size. Okay, I got this, Kyle. I'm cranking
there is an option to keep a chat up for a little while. I think you want to keep it up so everyone can kind of see what's been said.
Okay, cool. Hold on. Yeah, how do
That's
I do
a lot
this?
better.
Is it bigger? I can't see. I can't.
It's much bigger. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Enable emotes. No, we already have that. How do I chat delay? Hide chat message. Never hide chat message. Always show messages. All right, Kyle. Let her rip. Bueller! There we go. So now we put this right down here. Right? Then everybody can see it. So now
Yeah,
you can.
and then it'll just kind of scroll up as we go along, right?
That's the way it should work.
Now, if I want to test the follow function, so
All right.
something should come up now, right?
Yeah, cool.
So let's do that.
Boom.
Yeah, perfect. That was some terrible backseating by them, but that's not us.
Exactly. Boom. Beautiful. We got text, the scroll. Just go. Kyle, type something a little bit bigger.
Bigger, like longer?
Yeah. Type something a little bit longer, real quick. Let's see, like how how that shows up on stream.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Because if you put it on that side, it's going to cover the whole screen.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see
Yeah.
where we end, right? Okay, that's not bad, right? If it's
No, it's
just
not bad.
but that's one big thing, right?
Yeah. That it's going to be better on the right side.
You think it's gonna be
I
better
think.
over here?
Just move it over there. Let's see what it looks like.
I don't know. I think we got more room to work. I think we got more room to work on this side because
you do.
Yeah, look, like if I'm being realistic, well, if you type out an actual sentence, like you know what I'm saying, I could make this box a bit smaller, right? So I could do this. Do you want it here, or do you want it here? Where do you want it, Kyle? You like?
Whoops, I had caps on.
Okay. Well, how do you like that? Right there, or do you like it?
If we're gonna,
where's the rest of it? It's just kind of going off screen, right?
Yeah.
We're only getting one chat on screen at a time. Hold on a sec. Where's the?
It's because your chat box doesn't go all the way up. Must be.
All right, hold on a sec. Let me see something here. I'm modifying the size. So let's height this out at 2000. All right, now there we go. Okay, cool. This is what we got. All right, I got it. I'm fixing it right now. See growing pains. 3000. Yep. Bueller.
Perfect. I think that looks better.
There we go. That's perfect. They'll never go too big. The small brown fox umped over the moon, right?
Yep.
That's great. Now we could see, or other people could see. All right. It doesn't interfere right now currently with what we got going on here. Right. Just a little over here. Right. There's a little up. Right. Just a little more. Give us enough room. Beautiful. The small brown box foxed over the tox, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Exactly.
All right, let's go. So let's go to Tinker and let's go to the moon.
All right, boom. Actually, I'm going to pull out real quick my chat little box here. So I could try to keep an eye on chat a little bit while I'm doing this. All right.
Okay.
Cool. Bone. I want some bone. I'm kind of loaded up on everything I can get right now.
Yeah, it's fine.
And get a couple mud peppers. I don't think we'll need mud peppers for anything, but
I don't think. Yeah.
All right, we're loaded. Sure, I want to save my progress. Boom. All right, come here. We only need a couple.
What are you trying to do right now?
I'm just gonna beat these guys. I should level my axe.
I think you should. not level your axe.
It's gonna, dude. I literally just have to like kill like these guys. Exactly.
All right.
Now
Okay.
behold the power of the level 3 axe.
All right. Let's see it happen. Get him.
You shall be my first victim. Oh, he throws it.
It is really cool.
I didn't know he threw it. Oh, this guy's gonna get it too. Hold on. Oh, never mind. He spins it around himself. Oh, yep. Cool. You can't miss with this one. What? Hell yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Get in the goddamn plane.
We're going for a rated PG stream to our best ability here.
Yeah, I just said goddamn. That's PG.
Yeah, no. Is it?
Yeah, for sure. They said that in you know, something.
Yeah, like the Little Mermaid.
Yeah, sure. Okay. This is it. Where this is the chessboard.
Yep. They're going to
So that which one is the?
It's the only one you can land on. It's the one with the fire.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
What's up, Tinker? What was his voice like again? Oh, I guess I'm debuting his voice now, right?
I guess that you're technically debuting it.
Do you have the items I need? I
sort of always. Okay.
Gave away the gauge. Gave away the wheel. Very good. Very good indeed. Let's see here. I have to make sure these pieces are all in order. Now, if I adjust this knob and push this button and fiddle with this gizmo, I think we're ready to go. This is it, Marty. You're going to go where no one has gone before. We've actually been there before. Oh. Well, you've never been shot out of a turret with only a minimal chance of survival. That's true. Okay, let's go. $11, 10, 9, 8. I'm gonna sneeze. It's 5.
Don't do it.
3, 2, 1. Blast off. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. Or they throw us in the trash?
Yep. We're just garbage.
Alright. We're out. Yes! What a ride. Tinker's shit worked great! Buddy! What's happened? You're so metallic. Toastazilla and Attack of the
Appliance.
Okay. At least
the
we'll
Bagel
be
Beast.
Attack of the Bagel Beast and the Waffle Weasels. Sorry, buddy. Just kidding. Now we better start looking for Professor Ruffleberg.
This is my favorite dog form.
Okay. Oh, I like his metallic bark.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Oh, they got the teleporter down here, huh? It doesn't work. Okay. Oh, buddy, you smell something over there? You were sniffing something over here, buddy. I'm just making sure that you're okay. You know, you're getting a little hurt. I'm gonna give you a little heal. Alright, let's go, buddy. Alright. Teleporter. No? Oh, it is! Alright, we're back.
Yep, back in the saddle.
What the hell is this green goblin-like guy? Fuck the wrong thing. Spin to win, bitch! I feel like I'm playing Diablo 2 all over again.
You remember that thing? That was the thing in the volcano.
Oh! No, I don't. Okay. Interesting. There's multiple of them here. Yeah, well, I'm killing enemies. I might as well. Might as well switch to my crusade sword. Oh, these guys. Alright, hold up, buddy.
So you're gonna flick all the switches.
Switches, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh, you just missed them.
Oh, I see. Okay, okay. Whoa! The raptor's back! Oh my god, the raptor hits like a tank! Okay,
Probably
whoa.
put your dog on attack mode.
Yeah, hold on. Holy crap. What? He shoots lasers?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, this guy hits hard, man. Okay. Okay, what else I got? Whoa! That hit him so hard.
Well, your dog attacked him at the same time.
Yo, he is. He's a beast.
Mm-hmm. Robo-raptor.
I'm gonna heal myself. I'm not gonna take any risks.
Yeah, he'll probably kill you if you had to.
Got him. Ooh.
Alright, there should be another bad guy around here somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a pretty intense battle.
Dude, you did a good job.
No, my dog did a good job. He shot him with a laser.
Well, yeah.
Wait, is there something over here, buddy? You're stepping in this corner like there's something. It is. There's some iron. Alright, then we got this sucker. Thank you for releasing me. Please accept my offering. Neutron. What the? Remember to read my post. I'll be late again. Oh, I just got a new sword?
Yep, sure did. Now you're going to backtrack a little bit to go back to where you crashed. So I love that green color on that sword too, by the way. It's super cool.
Oh, yeah, look at... Whoa! It's my most damaging weapon yet.
Other way? You're go up,
okay.
backtrack.
Okay,
Yep.
I'm backtracking.
Does a lot of damage.
Yeah, you know. He does. Buddy does so much damage. Right.
Yeah, it is.
Buddy's sniffing real hard in this area.
There we go. So you're in this area. You're going to try to make it to the northwest corner.
Gotcha. Northwest.
Which you have to kind of basically go all the way around to where your ship was, and then go to the right.
Gotcha. I got it. One credits. Okay, buddy. Around here, I'm gonna have you just go back to search. We don't need you killing everything. I'm trying to level up this sword.
What do you think of Space World so far?
It's a sewer.
Yep. Sure is.
Hey, what's up, buddy? You are quite amazing for a non-robot. I wish to thank you, young bio creature, by giving you the reflect formula. This formula requires 2 parts grease, 1 part iron. You used your gift well. Many bio creatures do it just logically. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Is this good, Kyle, or is this whatever?
No, it's hella good. So, that's super good. So, I don't know what you'd want to get rid of for it, but one of your attack spells. So pick which one you like the least, I guess.
Okay. All right. What do you smell, buddy? Some over here? All right, now we go back, right?
Now you go back, yep.
Okay.
So you have, that's the best sword in the game.
Cool. Let's get out of here, buddy. Oh, come on.
And we fly.
Okay.
All right, now you're just gonna make your way through.
Gotcha. Raptor's back. No, thank you.
All right, so you remember how annoying the Dark Woods words were?
Yeah.
So do you want my help with this part, or do you want to try to do it?
I don't know what I'm up against.
It's one of those really annoying mazy type of things. So here's what I would do first. I would switch control of the dog, and then go out that northern door.
This door right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then kill all those robots when you can get out. When you get out. Because you can breathe in outer space, right?
Oh, I see. I missed.
You missed. Sorry. Alright, that's good. They're all over the place. So just float around and kill them all, and then go back.
Okay. What?
Yeah. Gotta be a little more, yeah. I think when I did it, I always just shot him from top to bottom, but you can line it up. Oh boy, that's a lot.
What's that? Oh, I could. Oh, I could just like go over anything. Oh, I thought I was limited by the structure.
No, you're in outer space. Travel the stars. So much damage.
Kind of excited for Combo Breaker this weekend.
Should I be?
I don't know. It's a big tournament.
True. I know Sparrow's going to be there, so if he does good, I'll be excited about that.
You know what I watched again recently for the first, not for the first time, but again for like the, I don't know.
First time in a while.
Third time in a while. Chetty versus Vishen the Star. Strong style.
Oh, man. Yeah.
That is a match, bro. Woo!
That is a match.
Sparrow commentates that match, and it's it's really funny. There's a lot of great stuff in there. You know what's very interesting? All the new players, they don't like Tekken 5.
Oh yeah, of course not.
They're like, oh, okay, like I'll play Tekken 6, I'll play Tag 2, but I won't play Tekken 5.
Right.
And I'm like, huh.
Well, Tekken 5 is the least mashy game of all of them, so I get that.
Interesting. They just said it feels too different.
It does feel different. The movement's like a million times better in that game.
What is going on with this lollipop that's just spinning in here?
So the lollipop's inside. When you go back in, you'll have to fight those.
Okay. Interesting, you know. Okay, dude, there's a lot of these fucking balls.
There are.
Did I get him? He's still freaking. God.
They're more annoying than anything because they just knock you around, you know.
Got him? Got him. Alright. I think I got him.
I think you got him. You can always go back out.
How do I go back in?
I don't know. Hit select. Alright, just go in the hole there.
Me go in the hole?
Yeah, in the middle of the floor.
Nice. Okay, cool.
You are now in the shopping area, so I would not buy anything here. But if you don't mind grinding money, you can.
What do they got?
New armor and stuff, you know.
Feather. Root. Mushroom. Badger. Gunpowder.
Badger.
Oh, they just got
Definitely gonna want to do money exchange for sure.
Where's the money exchange?
Right there.
It was in this. It was in.
Yeah.
Jewels. Okay. Money exchange. Gold coins. Okay. Okay. Kyle, I think we have a good amount of money.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, let's see here.
Okay.
I think we might be able to make this work. Let's buy some gunpowder. Let's buy some iron. Let's buy some mushroom. Buy some feather. You know. Yeah, we'll just see where the rest of that takes us.
Okay.
Any armor? Any weapons? Buy bazooka ammo.
I would wait on all of this.
Okay. Don't buy this armor. Don't buy this dog. I have Spot's collar. Don't buy the cyber glove. Don't buy the lightning helm.
Yes, that's right. Don't buy them.
Okay, not buying it. Kyle says so.
All right, so there should be an NPC running around.
Maybe down here?
Yeah, maybe down there.
That guy?
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, green, red, green.
Okay, hold on. We gotta remember that green, red, green. Okay. Green, red, green. What's that one? What do these other guys say?
Cleaning program in progress. Do not detain the cleaning machine.
What if I do?
Wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off, wax on. Okay. All right.
Okay, green, red, green.
Do I take the rainbow test? It's the end. I'm gonna save.
That's the end, bro.
Yes. Engage. Kat, what's your favorite Star Trek movie?
I don't know. I don't remember them very well. But I probably the one I remember the most, and I also enjoyed it. So that's probably would be my favorite. Would be the first one with Captain Picard, and when he like turns into a Borg or whatever.
Oh, okay. So what about not a fan of Wrath of Khan?
I liked Wrath of Khan. I like that too. So hold on, you're going there, right through there. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, yep, perfect. Hit the switch and get out.
All right.
You're gonna go west.
Okay. Break through the lollipop.
Yep.
Oh, he's okay.
Oh, he's gonna hurt. He's gonna kill you.
Oh yeah. So he thinks. All right, hold on a second. Nectar. And then watch this. Kyle, I have none of the abilities to make reflect work.
Yeah, but none of the ingredients. Yeah, but you want it. You'll get it figured out. The bees.
Lance him. Ah! Ah! Damn, it's hard, man.
Yeah.
Crush this motherfucker. Can you kill this thing? You have.
Oh yeah, you can. It's everything has a lot of life up here, dude. Are you going in that hole?
I'm trying.
Try harder.
You're right, I just had to try harder.
I know. It's okay.
Okay.
Okay, so make your way. Okay, so there is an item in here you want. You kind of have to get you have to get through the maze. You can't touch the heating coils.
Okay, gotcha.
Here's your treasure chest.
Oh, reliable.
I believe that's a helmet. Equip, yeah. Yep.
Okay, it is. Alright, cool.
Alright, then you're going east through 2 rooms.
Gotcha. I'm just gonna send this guy for crush real quick. Just get him off my back. Do I
think you have to kill him. I don't remember being able to get around him, but
dude, he's so much damage, alright. Well, what's going on, buddy? It's time to fight.
yeah, you definitely just should use his help.
Alright, good job, buddy.
Keep going.
What?
That's
All right.
okay. Just do it.
Send buddy out there.
Yeah. Perfect. And that's where you're going.
Down the hatch.
Okay, so you have 2 switches you're going to hit. One is going to turn on the storage room light, and the other one is going to turn off the greenhouse light.
Okay. Alright, buddy, I'm gonna have to get you to calm down on that right now, because these guys might be a good source of leveling up for the sword. Okay. God, Kyle, everything up here does a ton of light.
Yeah, I know.
I know you could die. I saw Buddy kill you. Okay. How are we in terms of levels? 9. Great.
Well, you're level 1 9, right? So you've already gained 1 level.
No, I haven't. I can't charge.
Yes, you have.
See?
You don't charge to level 2. See how many you got there?
10.
1. Okay. Well, you're in trouble. You're in trouble.
All right, let's get out of here. All right, we got lots of. We got switches on switches.
Yeah. All right. Turn that off. Okay. Turn that on. Perfect.
What about this over here? Access
I don't
code?
think that does.
No, we don't want to miss that.
Yeah, we're not messing with that yet.
All right, I'm gonna get out of here then.
Okay. All right, so you are going east.
All right. I'm gonna put Buddy back on attack mode.
Whoa.
Good job, Buddy.
All right, you're going down there.
All right. Nice. There's a guy down here.
Talk to him.
I'm trying to.
Oh, you just fight him there, man.
Okay. Yeah. Dude, Buddy hits like a fucking truck. Protector ring. Particle bombs. And nothing.
Check, well, I think the last one was credits.
Thunderballs.
There we go. Nothing. It's trolling you.
Okay.
The protector ring is good. Put that on.
Must be equipment then.
Yeah.
I can't carry any more honey.
So honey's in there. So if you go all the way north, you'll see some interesting things.
Okay. Okay. Hey, it's the bug.
Yep, it's a green bug.
Red bug. Okay.
Yep. I just thought you would appreciate that little touch there.
The muck came from space.
Yep. All right, so you're going north. Not that, yeah, there you got it. Yep. And down.
Okay. Oh, boss time. Let's go. That's it. Nope, more. What else we got over here? Damn. Only the MVP right now. You're right, Kyle. Right. Why buy any of that stuff when they're going to give it to me for free?
Give me 1 second here.
What you got over there, buddy? What do you smell? What's my sword level, buddy? 12.
What did I say? What did I say the robot said? Green, red, green?
Yeah, green, red, green, I believe it was.
Okay.
Mark.
Okay, so there, go back to the alarm room where we turned on and off those lights.
Mm-hmm.
There's a secret boss there, but I'm trying to find a good way to get you the right code.
Was it down here?
I don't remember which one it was at, but
Buddy, I'm gonna take you off being aggressive in this room. I gotta branch out on my own.
okay. So there's not a good way to do it. So basically, how do you feel about a secret boss?
I forgot Secret Boss is sick.
Okay, it's the boss itself is not that hard, but doing it is annoying. So we have to get back, or like getting to it is annoying. So we have to get back to the lights on, lights off room.
Okay.
And then remember those 3 switches that ask you for different numbers.
Yep.
There's a secret code that we have no way of knowing, and we have to go through all the combinations. And when we get the right combination, it'll unlock a door for us to fight him.
Yeah, sure. Good job, buddy. Maybe it's down here? This
Yep.
looks like it could be it. Yep. Okay, cool.
Well, there you go. So start with 111, and then we'll do 112, 113. Okay, that wasn't it.
Okay.
You'll know. It'll have a little cutscene.
Okay.
Well, you probably want 113, right? Or you could just kind of.
Got it. See, Con, you gotta trust me.
I do trust you. Right.
Now. We're gonna pedal. We're gonna nectar. And we're gonna drop in. Footsteps. Oh, what the? Oh, wow. TV screen?
The face. He's gonna kill you. Nope.
Not that hard, huh? Immediately kills me in 2 seconds.
Well, he did hit you 3 times, and you didn't look at the damage. That's okay.
No. Okay.
You gotta go left.
Sure. At least we know what the password is.
Yep. Okay. So, don't kill those robots. Well, I guess maybe you don't have to, but it makes it easier.
Okay. What? God, fuck you. Any more of those suckers around? Wait, did they all regenerate?
No.
You sure about that? Because I thought I killed them all.
Well, you did, and then you died. You didn't save it.
Okay. Ugh. Hold it together, brother. Ugh. Tell me about what's the next gameplay after we redo everything we just did? Wait.
We're gonna go get all those items again, and then we're gonna save it. So we'll get all the items. We'll go back to the inn. We'll save it, and then if you feel up to trying the boss again, we can, or we can call it a night.
Okay.
It's probably gonna be around midnight by the time you do that. Right?
Yeah. Ugh. Feeling it, bro.
But we got a lot done.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you know.
We'll get more done too. The hitbox, brother.
Oh yeah, it's bad. What's like a maybe not obscure isn't the right word, but what's like a Sega game that I've never played that you think I should play?
Oh, one of the Shinobi games. I think it's like Shinobi 3.
Yeah, I've heard only good things.
I'll have to think about like which one is the one from my childhood, because I don't remember which Shinobi it was. I just remember it was a Shinobi game and it was sick. It was sick.
Yeah.
Nothing cooler than ninjas when you're a kid.
That's true. even like my boys are, I think I mentioned they're going through like a Pokemon phase, right? But they're also going through like a Ninjago phase, which is Ninja Legos.
Okay.
And it's just no matter what, you know, boys love ninjas.
Do you know what something I learned recently? That Cloud is slightly based on Miyamoto Musashi.
I did not know that.
Yep, slightly. There's a recent interview that came out. I don't know if I mentioned this to you last time, but like they did a interview about Sephiroth. I forgot why. Sephiroth's sword, and they dropped a bunch of like unspoken lore about stuff and like the designs for back in the day. So it's like Sephiroth from the very beginning was always thought like concepted to have the Masamune,
right?
From the very beginning,
right?
And it was the reason for that is that they wanted like Cloud was always gonna have this big like straight sword, right? And they wanted to parallel Musashi and I believe it was Kenshiro, like the guy he dueled, right? So the guy he dueled was like a master of the Nodachi, like the big katana. And when Musashi fought him, he had like a straight sword made out of an ore, like and whatnot. And so they always came up with this idea of like the big bulk sword versus the slender one. And then they also dropped the lore that the Masamune changes its length depending on the wielder and the situation. So that's why like its size is so inconsistent.
Yeah, sometimes it's very dramatic. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's very long, and I believe in the quote they go, it's supposed to be usually like anywhere from 7 to 10 feet long, usually. But yeah, like I said,
it was Kojiro. Musashi and Kojiro.
Musashi and Kojiro, yeah. So I thought that was really, really cool. I also like the idea that they were like, because it's like the Masamune is not just like a normal sword. It's like it's something beyond. It has like it's like spiritual, organic, or something like that. So it's just not, which also makes sense with how like a lot of the times in that game, Sephiroth kind of just summon it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he pulls it. So I thought that was very interesting.
It was interesting. I can see that duality being based off of Musashi and Kojiro, though.
Alright, I am going to go back to Buddy now. I mean, Party. Alright.
Yep, you're just going in there. I think that's right. Yep, just go in that hole. Alright, where are you? You're in the shop. Perfect.
I'm going to save again. I don't want to ever have to kill those things ever again.
Alright, so let's talk to the robot to get the color password again. Just in case it changed. I don't think it did, but... Green, right? Okay, cool. Alright, so you're going left.
Hold on a second.
Yeah. And then you're gonna go, right when you get out of here, you're gonna go south. And then, hang on.
Woo.
You're going right in there.
We're going right in.
Alright, turn on, yep, hit that. Perfect, now leave. Then you're going west.
Buddy, be my guest, be my guest. Dude, what in the world?
Nice. Oh, you're blocked. Okay, so you got to go out and kill that thing. You must have missed it. Oh, no.
Fucking...
Hey. And go in there. Get in the hole. You remember this one, right?
Yeah, I remember the puzzle. Yeah. Old Reliable.
What a good name.
Mm-hmm.
They took a lot of care in the animations in this game. Did a good job.
They did.
Even from the little items that, you know, see there. All right, so you are going east. So right.
Kyle, I got a question for you. Is there a name for the...
Keep going right.
What is the best way to put this?
And go in there.
Go in here, gotcha. Is there a name for the action of somebody basically just being like, oh, I liked it before it was cool, or trying to like play it off like they did?
Hipster.
I don't know if it's hipster, because but like just think of it this way, right? We want to turn this on, storage room lights on, right?
Yeah. Yep, and you want to turn the greenhouse off.
Gotcha. So, all right. No, so it's like I'll just give you an example, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like say I don't know, like a band or a movie or a video game gets popular, right? And then a bunch of people are just like, oh, it's not the best one though. The one before is the best one, or like, oh, if you really like it.
All right, you're going right again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they liked them before they were popular, but not as much when they became popular, right?
Or they just say that they do. You know what I'm saying? Oh. You know, because I'm talking about the desire to have that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like not actually having that, because like people will do that all the time, even if they weren't really into it, right? Like someone will be like, I don't know, like, oh, The Witcher 3, whatever, bro. It's all about The Witcher 2, bro. Like The Witcher 2 was amazing, right? Or you know.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I don't know that I'm sure there is. Wait.
Did we go in here before? I don't know if we went here before.
No, the light didn't work. You got to go back and turn on the storage light. Something happened with it. Which means the greenhouse light probably screwed up too.
Okay.
Weird.
Caught a loop!
Oh no.
Sorry, we got super heal.
Oh my god.
So I could give myself a barrier too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like there should be like a term for that, you know? Mm-hmm. Like an effect or something. You know what I'm saying? Like something should be named in such a capacity. Yeah. Alright. And the lights are off in the greenhouse.
So off. Okay, perfect.
What the? Why? There we go.
Weird.
Weird. All right.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think there probably is, because that's like not an uncommon behavior, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just don't know what you would call it.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just wondering if there was like a thing. So I think
Yeah,
it's.
I'm sure there is. There's like expressions about it, right? Like hipster is like what comes to mind, but because they do kind of behave that way, right? That's a very common thing. But
yeah, it's a very common thing. But I think it's important when like breaking down the psychology of something. Like a perfect example for me when I think of stuff is like when people say like, "Oh, you know, like Demon's Souls is way better than Dark Souls."
Oh, right, you're right.
Which
right,
is
right, right.
that? Which Demon's Souls was the original game with the concept that came out, but the reality is Demon's Souls sucks in comparison to Dark Souls. It's not even close, right? But like people
there
will
are some
say
people
that.
who would argue that. Like
People
I
would, but they
not,
would be wrong.
I would agree with you, but yeah, okay, just in context of this conversation, right? Like you're absolutely right. The popular opinion is that Dark Souls is better, right? And it has more modern features, but someone just wants to be like, I like Demon Souls better for like the clout or whatever, right?
It came first. It's a better one.
Yeah.
I just like there's something about like it gives you street cred just to like say that like, oh, I like that one. I like that one better.
Yeah. Well, people they try to find funny ways of like getting credibility or one-upping someone in a conversation. I don't know, but like you could just say, hey, listen, like I like Dark Souls, but here are the things I found that I happen to like Demon Souls better, right? Like, and here's why. Or if you even need to say that.
I think a lot of the people, they really don't feel that way. I feel like they feel like they have like there's some impulse. That's why I feel like it's like an effect, right? Like some psychological thing, because like people will go out of their way to say things that like objectively are worse is better because it came first and like it was before it got popular. People will legitimately do that, right? Like they'll convince themselves. So it's like that's why I think about it, I'm like, what is that? Like there should be some sort of like terminology for that, because it happens a lot.
I'm sure there is. I just don't know what you would call it. But yeah, it's very common for sure. Is it like a pet peeve for you?
No, it's not a pet peeve. I'm interested in the psychology of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm interested in the psychology of like what makes people do that.
Yeah, I think it's without being educated in that. I think when I see that in somebody, I think that they have a very high personal importance on like the social hierarchy of like whoever is involved in like that conversation, and or like a very extreme need for approval, and like their personal securities could be around that, and that might be what's motivating that, right?
Well, maybe it's just is it also something about like they don't want to like something that's popular. So
yeah, but why?
In order to like something that's popular, they have to like it before it was popular.
Yeah, like maybe there could be like some sort of like repulsion, right? That could be motivating that too. But I don't think so, because if it is just that they don't like it, they probably wouldn't talk about it, right? They probably would just want to avoid conversation around things that they don't like. You know what I mean? No, but what they want, what happens in those conversations is they steer the conversation to something that's beneficial to them instead. You'll probably want to save it now.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Don't move yet. We gotta do the armor room. So you're gonna go north, and then this is the alarm room where you'll get the armor.
Okay.
And then we'll save it after that.
All right, we're going to.
Actually, we made pretty good time on that. Better time than I thought we would.
All right, cool.
So I mean, I guess it could be because people aren't that. people are somewhat predictable, but they're also not that simple, you know.
Yeah.
So it's hard to know exactly, but
I just find it very, like I said, I find it very
yeah.
fascinating, and I'm interested in like dissecting what makes people do that, because it's just
Are
like you
you
said.
encountering that recently, or
No, it just came up with like when I was talking about Final Fantasy VI with somebody.
oh, was it me?
No, it wasn't you. There's this Twitch streamer I watch. She's like into old RPG. She's into JRPGs, and she's going through like original stuff. She just beat Chrono Trigger. And
oh yeah. This is the one you sent me a while back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
I saw her pop up, and I was gonna check her out because I saw she was playing Chrono Trigger, but I just never did.
Yeah, so like she's at some point she's gonna be playing Final Fantasy VI, so they created a Final Fantasy VI thread, right, which sparked some discussion, and sure. I was thinking in my head, and I got like, it's a theory I've had in a while. It's like, well, what gave Final Fantasy VI its like hype, right? Like what made it become this like, because that's what it became. It became that. It became the trendy like, Final Fantasy VII isn't really that good. Final Fantasy VI is way better, right? Like that's what that game became, right?
I've never heard anybody say that except for me, but I've been saying that forever.
There's a lot of people, of people. So I think it comes twofold things. So this is my theory, right? But I need to like actually look into this. Number one, it's that effect, right? The Final Fantasy VII blew up, and then after it blew up, people were like, oh, well, it's super popular, but like, I like Final Fantasy before it was cool, and 6 is way better, right? Like, cause so they could be ahead of the curve, and they could say that like they liked Final Fantasy before it became cool. The other thing that I think is a big factor, now hear me out, and this is very much inspired by somebody else we know, right?
Okay.
I think it had to do with the console war too. Because Final Fantasy jumped ship from Nintendo to Sony, right? And now all of a sudden, then when it was on Nintendo, it was like a thing, but it wasn't a big thing. But Final Fantasy VII grew up so big that like now Nintendo fans needed to be like, well, you know what? No, Final Fantasy VII sucks. Like actually, it sucks.
64.
No, they were like, well, Final Fantasy VI was the best. It was way better. It went all downhill from there.
I see.
6 was just better. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know who?
Well, I mean, as a pro Final Fantasy VI person, not to say that you're not, but I would say I'm more positive on it than you are, right?
Yep.
I don't think I've heard that amongst conversations I have with people about why we like Final Fantasy VI more. But those contrarian types that you're talking about, right? Or maybe not contrarian, but somewhat, they wouldn't exist in that conversation because they would have no like social cue to piggyback off of, right? Because what are they going to say? Yeah, I agree. There's no conversation. So it's, take that experience for what it is. But who's the mutual friend?
Oh, it's Magao.
Oh, right. Okay.
So Magao never had a PlayStation 1, but hated Final Fantasy VII and talked about how great Final Fantasy VI was, and then claimed that he beat FF7 at a friend's house. Yeah, you don't remember this? So
no,
it took me forever.
Remember these I'm sure that sure that we talked about it, but I don't remember.
I remember this because like there was like one day where I like put it all together that he was lying because he was like. He was like he was big. Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger are way better than Final Fantasy VII and all this stuff. But he never had a PlayStation, right? And he said he beat Final Fantasy VII by playing it at a friend's house, right? But then, like, when you think about it, like in retrospect, you're like, that's this unknown friend that neither of us ever know that he never named. He beat the entire game of Final Fantasy VII. At his friend's house, right?
That's the most skeptical part to me because that game is so meaty. You can't just like there's especially the amount of time that we were all hanging out together at that age. Like where would the time have been? To do that?
Exactly. Who is the friend that he has that has a PlayStation that we don't know?
He did have a friend that went to like West Genesee or. Central Square or something like that. Because he didn't go to West Hill the entire time. He moved into the district, right?
No, he didn't. He was
okay.
I knew him when I was in kindergarten. He was been there. He was there since the beginning. Yes.
So maybe it was the other way around. I don't know how these two people knew each other, but I know that for a fact, and I want to say his friend's name was like Jared or something, but I only ever met him like twice because we had a couple like times where he invited me over to like do like an all-night RPG thing, right? And his friend was there. And we were talking, SNES RPGs the whole time. Oh shit, dude!
I tried so hard to get to the heal.
That's okay.
I tried mashing the button.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. I would even, to be honest with you, thinking I should have told you this before. When you're going through those corridors, I would even just switch to the dog and lead with the dog. But how far back are we? Do we gotta get all the items again? Or did we get some of them?
Yeah. Oh, God. No. Because I was trying to get back to save. That's where I was heading. I was trying to find a way back.
Well, it's up to you, dude. We can do it again, or we could call it a night and do it next time.
Oh, God.
But anyway, so I know that he did have a friend, okay? But we only ever talked about Super Nintendo games, right? And I am highly skeptical that there would have been the time to beat that game start to finish. Just going over to a friend's house.
So, all I'm saying is that, like, there's a lot of factors I feel like that went into quote unquote this like FF6's bit overhyped reputation, and I think those two factors, the console war factor and that like I wanted to like it before it was cool factor, played it because it's always been the trendy pick, right? Well, and like it's the best FF, right? It's been a trendy pick for a long time. Like someone would say, any forum you can go on and you could trace that back. Someone's like, Final Fantasy 7's great. It's like, I think Final Fantasy 6 is way better. Like, 100%. Like the pinky out, yes, Final Fantasy 6 is way better.
Dude,
right?
I have my pinky out for Final Fantasy 6, so I get it. I'm there.
So, but
I could defend that argument.
Yeah, but I'm curious as to like the psychology behind it. You know what I'm saying? More of the you're just talking generally like why someone would say that even though they don't really mean it or haven't given it an honest look, right? Because I think the game's reputation is marred by the fact that it can't be looked at honestly sometimes. And I think criticism of the game leads to
there's a lot of zealotry around those old SNES games, right? Like people people really overlook the faults of them because of nostalgia, right? Yeah. But you're gonna find that like people like 10 years younger than us, they have their games like that. Like I'll hear people in their 20s talk about GameCube games like they were the best thing ever, and I'm like, what the heck? You didn't live through GameCube like I did. So like it's just a matter of opinion in a way, right? But nostalgia is a huge factor. And one thing that I think about when I think about the popularity of that game is that when it came out, it was like an $80 game. It was like the most expensive Super Nintendo game to buy retail ever. Right? This is another thing that... Oh, go ahead. Yes, finish. So back then, when you didn't have the internet and all these other games, like let's just say graphically, look like that. Like think about Final Fantasy VI being right next to like any other Super Nintendo game that's not made by Squaresoft, right? And you're like, holy shit, these graphics are way better, right? And you're looking at it, it's $80. Oh man, it's gotta be the best game. So like I can just imagine a bunch of kids like looking at window shopping for that thing for months, saving up all their money to play it, and then it fulfilling their expectations because it is a good game, right? So, and I think that sort of experience is just hard to beat for a lot of people, no matter how the art of the game really transpires in a vacuum,
No, I could see that. It's something I was thinking about, which was very interesting. Is that I think a lot of people also in this concept said they liked Final Fantasy VI without playing it.
Oh yeah, sure.
And the reason I say that is because Kyle, I've maybe only played Final Fantasy VI on the Super Nintendo itself once. And not to be just like touched it once. Like you have to think about it. It's like during that time where things were becoming, it's like the only way to play that game was on SNES. Eventually, in like 1999 or 2000, there was a PlayStation port, right? But my first time playing and beating that game and Chrono Trigger, it was on ROM because you guys, you and Pat weren't letting me borrow your copy of the game in your SNES. So I had to find another way to play it, right? And it was not easy to play that game. So it's just and it wasn't a blockbuster seller, right? You know, like you said, it's not like it. Even today, copies of the game are like they sell for a ton of money, right? So it's like rare game. So where were all these people playing the game? You know what I'm saying? It's just very. I just again.
Well, they might have had like your experience with it, right? So like, let's say like you like I could imagine the only times you would have played it were you were at my house or Pat's house, right? And
I think I saw it for the first time at Pat's house, but then I played it but then like I said, I played it and beat it myself on through
on a ROM, and I did the same with Chrono Trigger, and because I couldn't find that game anywhere when I was growing up, right? But like let's just think about that experience, right? Like you're at Pat's house, you're having a good time. That's not the only game you're playing that night. You're playing lots of games, talking about lots of things. Like that whole evening is a great experience that lends its enjoyable like how do I say this? Like it all bleeds together, right? So it's hard to like say, well, like is it the game by itself, you know, in a vacuum, right?
Or is it the experience you have with somebody?
Exactly, right. And even if you only play a couple hours, there's like, you know, you can't you give that experience up, and it wouldn't be fair to, right? You may not not you, but like the people you're talking to, like they may not be able to articulate the things that I'm saying about it. They just get emotionally defensive, you know? But these are the reasons that people dig their heels into points that don't make a lot of sense either, you know? Now, if I were to look at both of those games objectively, like in a vacuum, right, I would say Final Fantasy VII is probably the better game. Did I enjoy it more? No, I didn't enjoy it more for lots of other reasons, you know?
And that is very fair. Your favorite does not necessarily mean the best, right?
Right.
And that's completely fine, right?
Yeah. Like I had, like for me, like I have experience. I mean, I have good friend experiences with both games, right? But like I have a lot of experiences with Final Fantasy VI, like not having the internet, and that game is like packed full of obscure secrets, like more than many other games, right? And like it would just be like going to school and talking with people and like, oh, like I found this thing, and then I'd go on and go and find it, and like I'd share something that I found with them and like all that, you know. And like I didn't have that with Final Fantasy VII as much, because even though it was a more popular game, it was much more streamlined experience, I thought, than 6 was.
Well, think about the time when it came out too. Like when 6 came out, and I don't know if you got 6 around when it came out, but like that's basically pre-internet. Right? 94 is like, to me, the internet starts pretty much in 96, 97, right? That's when like things actually start kicking, right? And like 98 is when I played 7 for the first time. And I think I don't know if that's around when you played it, right? That would have been like 1 year after it came out or whatever. But I remember because I had a 64 first, and then I ended up getting a PlayStation.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. And so like, you know, so like a lot of my enjoyment is really tied to those experiences, I think. And then secondly, it was also like the first game I played through that had like a pretty serious toned story. Right? And I think that always kind of stays with somebody, right?
Yeah,
and
formative, oh, it's not a game for kids anymore.
Yeah, right, kind of, yeah. And it had some good philosophy and some good like thinking in it, and all of the characters are good and interesting, right? Except for they're all good and interesting.
What's his name? That one dude that you could get. What's his name? I blank out on his name. I want to say Global 13, but his name isn't Global 13. You know the guy I'm talking about. He's kind of a secret character a little bit. You get him in the World of Ruin.
Oh, Go-Go?
Go-Go, yeah.
Dude, what makes Go-Go so interesting is that was like a secret among secrets. You know what I mean? Like, It was like a rumor that couldn't have possibly been true. What do you mean I have to get eaten by this thing on an island somewhere in a desert? What the hell? You know what I mean? Just like think about hearing that as a kid without the internet and like, no context or anything. It just sounds like fake nonsense,
The shadow thing is really cool too.
It is cool. And I like how it's incomplete, so it kind of leaves the audience up for interpretation, right? It's very well done.
There's two different shadow things. I was thinking about rescuing him from the island, waiting for him.
Yeah.
And you're thinking of something else. But like the idea that you really the game really pressures you into leaving, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that ticking clock thing really freaks you the fuck out. So it's like it's like if you wait for him, you can get him on your team. But if you don't wait for him till the very, very end, you blow it. And I think that's just...
that's really good. That's really well done. And there's no hints or anything about it. It's just some kid figured it out because they were slow. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then they shared it with their friends. And I'll never forget that Bo just let Shadow die. I'll never forgive him for that.
But yeah, I think it's there's a lot. I think what I said about Final Fantasy VI is I think it is a game with grand ideas that didn't have the scenario writer and the capacity as a 16-bit. The 16-bit console was not powerful enough to do what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
At the time, the scenario writer, they didn't have a scenario writer actually. They just had. Yes. So one of the things that separates 7 as a big stepping off point is 7 is when they would actually hired a scenario writer to come in for a Final Fantasy game. So instead of just the director and another person coming up with the story and implementing it, they had somebody who was there to write the script essentially, which is the scenario writer. And that was Nojima. And Nojima first got hired, I believe, to work on Bahamut Lagoon. Maybe the first time. Bahamut Lagoon and Chrono Trigger, I think, are the first games that Square did that actually had a scenario writer. If you look at the story of Chrono Trigger, I believe it's a combination of Sakaguchi and oh my god, I'm forgetting the Dragon Quest guy off the top of my head.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
but then it was Masato Kato's...
Is it Yuji
Horii? But it was Masato Kato's job to write the scenario based on their idea, right? And that also happened with Bahamut Lagoon and a couple of others. 6 doesn't have a scenario writer. It's just Yoshinori Kitase and Sakaguchi, spitballing, right? But I think what happened is they had these ideas, but without a proper scriptwriter or scenario writer to kind of piece them all together as well as they could. That's when all the cracks start to form in the game, right? And then it's where I feel narratively they're coming up with issues. So I think they had these grand ideas and they wanted to do these great things, but then they needed somebody else there to kind of put it all together. And I think that's what separates 7 and a lot of the PS games from moving forward at that point, where the stories begin to feel more cohesive, is because they got a scenario writer involved that could take
I can agree with that.
the
I can see
ideas and
that.
stitch them
Yeah,
together. Yes.
definitely. And I think, I've thought about this in my time, right? Like if Final Fantasy VI was a PlayStation 1 game, it'd be like amazing. Like there wouldn't. I just don't think they would have those same sorts of. I wouldn't call them cracks as you call them, but we can call them. Like there's a lot that's left undone in that game, right? And I'm not just talking about like a scenario. I'm talking about like some of the things in the translation are a little sloppy, right? Some like in some of the context like isn't really fully fleshed out, right? Like, and it's fleshed out enough, so when you're a kid you don't notice it. Like I didn't really notice it when I was a kid, but I do now.
Yeah. So what, like for example, just and then we'll kind of close off this. One of the things that like it like drives me crazy going back and playing the game is that like Terra, right? We'll call her Terra, but her name is Tina, but we'll call her Terra.
No, it's Terra.
Okay.
It's Terra.
Okay.
Terra.
So, right, she at the beginning of the game, she has like a slave crown on her that's controlling her. That like, it's controlling her, and she's like, and the idea is like, okay, so she's in control because of this slave crown, right? You take the slave crown off, she doesn't remember who she is. Mm-hmm. But then when we finally get her backstory, she was taken as a baby.
Right.
She doesn't. She's grown up with the Empire. She doesn't remember her family. Why is there a need for the slave crown? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree.
That betrays, like, that backstory betrays the idea of the inciting incident, right? Whereas if somebody, like, if they had a scenario writer involved, they might be like, well, it's not that the slave crown, like, maybe the slave crown stopped the Esperus from reaching out to her, because they do so later, right?
Or, or I sort of think of it like, a lot of it you have to imagine, right, for you to accept it. So like I sort of imagine that she tried to run away or something like that,
But then again, you're filling in the gaps for them where that you shouldn't have that, right? So, but
maybe I think sort of the charm of these old RPGs is that you can fill in the gaps,
I guess, but you could also say that
if it's
like
not. Yeah.
Again, narratively, it doesn't make sense at that point, right?
You're right. You're right.
And the other thing that sucks is that, like, again, let's go back to Kefka.
I would even say, like, why aren't there more situations in the game that call for a slave crown?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Why
don't we see more? Why don't we see it again? Right.
Why don't we see it
again? The thing that I always felt is about the Terra thing that annoys me. Didn't annoy me, but it just didn't feel right, is that she starts off as the protagonist, and then the protagonist really just changes to Locke and Celis. And I like those characters. I'm happy to go through the game with that, but it happens kind of early, and then there's the whole like Zozo Esper world thing, and then like that's it.
Well, that goes back to what I'm trying to say about like they had this wonderful idea where like, okay, cool, like we're not gonna have one central protagonist. Like you're gonna all of a sudden you're gonna wake up and then like the world's destroyed and you're Celis. Now Celis is the protagonist, and it's like how crazy they were sure like how crazy would that be, right? Like the villain won, and then you wake up as another character, and now you have to like get back together. But then they didn't think about they didn't really pull it off that well, because it's like, how well did you know Celis? You lose Terra, it like doesn't work. Like what does
that part doesn't bother me, because I think they pulled that off well. The World of Ruin. I'm talking about before that, when they start to go through the Locke Rachel Celis stuff, or like when you're all fragmented and then Locke finds Celis. That's when it really starts, in my opinion. The whole priority of the story really shifts to their story, and it just continues on, But like as far as like the World of Ruin, like in the World of Balance, they do a really good job of like developing Shadow, developing Strago Realm, and the Figaro brothers, and like that's the game, right? And then in World of Ruin, Setzer steals the show, right? Setzer's story is so good and interesting, and they do a great job with it. And from there, I mean, there's a million other characters and whatever, but like that's in my head, like those are the most memorable things about the game to me. That as far as the story is concerned, and I think they executed them well enough for me to really like it. But yeah, like there's random things in the game, like Gao's story could have been a lot better, right? Gao's story was we find him on the Vel, and then we find, if you want to search the globe, you can find his dad, and his dad doesn't remember him, and like what should be a very impactful scene, but it's like 2 seconds and they're done. Like that should be so, like his dad doesn't have to like him, but like you should see a much more memorable support from his party, like his new family, right? Like that's what I would have wanted to see. Didn't get to see it, right?
Yeah.
Then why is Realm, what in the world of Ruin, why is Realm by her freaking self in a mansion, right? And then she just leaves. Like what happened to Strago? Why is Strago walking around with a bunch of weirdos in front of a tower? I get all that.
Exactly. There's some stuff again, like elsewhere. And I guess the biggest thing is like, well, you get this feeling. I feel like there's a modern reference to this, right? Fighting Kefka at the end of the game kind of feels like, I think you probably have seen this. It kind of feels like in Avengers Endgame when they roll up and then they kill Thanos after he already snapped his fingers, right? Yeah. It's like, okay, cool, you killed him, but like the world's changed. So you're kind of getting revenge. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, it's very weird because, again, Kefka's poorly written. So he doesn't, it's like, well, why does he want all power? And why does he want to be like a god? And what does he do with it? He doesn't really do anything with it. It's like, he ruins the world. Okay, cool. But that's, again, we go down that path another time. But it's like...
Yeah, I don't think there's a problem with him as a villain like you do. But he's... Yeah, I guess maybe I got to replay it. Like, my recollection is that they wanted to stop Kefka so they could reclaim the statues and fix the world. Yeah, but maybe that's not right. Maybe I'm just remembering wrong, because the statues, like the 3 goddesses, they created the world supposedly. He mismatched them, and that's how he was able to destroy it. It's not like Kefka destroyed the world with his power, right? Yeah. He used the statues to do it.
He used the statues to do it, and then he became, a god, right? And then they wanted to, like, fight him and, like, get revenge, right?
Yeah.
Set the world straight.
They wanted to have a future. Like, if you go through the Terra story, that's the theme. That's the thesis of we need a future. We can't have a future as long as Kefka's around.
As long as Kefka's right.
Because it's all like
I think the thesis of the game, and at the end of it, is even though the world is shit, we still want to fight for a better future, right?
Right.
That's and that's and the idea is that and that's, again, I'm gonna talk about just this grand idea, this idea of like things are wrong, everything sucks, the world sucks, we lost. But we're still not going to give up. We're still going to try and fight to be able to have a better future in the future, right? And I think that's a powerful message, right? And that's what the game is inevitably about, right? But that's a protagonist-driven story, right? That I think, again, Kefka doesn't do it. Kefka does his job, and that's all his job is to do, is to be the bad guy. And we'll discuss Kefka another time. I really, again, not a fan of, and I've got a couple people on my side on that discussion that can vouch for me. But another time,
I'm not. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I just don't.
You don't have a problem with him, but I think you should be able to acknowledge his faults as a character.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have to go through what you think his faults are to me, but we can do that another time. Like you said, I don't think he's like the perfect villain or anything, but I think he is good. Yeah, I don't. I think he's a good villain.
Let me ask you just one quick question.
Yeah.
All right. We'll end the stream on this. All right. You just have to answer this. What is Kefka's motivation?
He doesn't have motivation. He's just insane.
And that is the best character for a plot device ever. He has no motivation. He just does what you want him to do whenever you want him to do it because he's crazy, and so he can just do whatever you want. And then the question begs you, then Kyle, if he's a crazy guy and he's out of control and he just does whatever he wants, how does he become a general?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I mean, do you know what I'm?
I don't think he was a general actually.
I think
He
he
was
is
a
in charge of
Magitech
the
Knight.
Magitech program. Yeah,
No, Sid
right
was
there
in
with
charge of
General
Magic.
Leo. Celis is
No, he was.
from the program, I
No,
believe.
Celis was a general, and General Leo was a general. Those were the two generals. Kefka worked with Sid.
I believe Kefka has a military leadership. I do not know if he has the term general, but he does lead armies. He does attack both the Figaro Castle, with leading the
Yeah, you're
army
right.
there, and other stuff.
Yeah,
So he has a high military standing, and he's also in charge of the invasion of Narsh, the second invasion of Narsh. He's
yeah.
also in charge of the attack on the Esper village, which name it escapes me at the moment.
I
So
mean, it's
whether or
just a
not he is
means
a
to an end.
general,
Like it's like the whole like Batman Joker thing, right?
I
Like
think the Batman
Joker
is,
still has people working for him, even
but
though
the
all he
Joker
wants to
is
do
also
is
smart.
well, Kefka is smart. He's
I
just
don't think
he,
he's very smart. Well, we can debate that another time. I think
yeah.
he. I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean, I don't know. I'm not like a staunch Kefka defender. I don't. I guess I don't really see the sorts of weaknesses that you do about it. But
I think as an antagonist, he does not. He could be replaced with anybody else, and the story would play out exactly the same.
hmm
I think that is the problem with Kefka, is without motivation, without logic to his decisions, without feasibility, without a parallel or dichotomy or a theme to match any of the other characters or what they're going through, he is as replaceable. He could be X Death. He could be anybody because
yeah,
Kefka as a character has no impact on the story. Kefka's actions do, but those
sure,
actions could be assigned to General Leo by any other name, and it would be the
yeah,
same exact story played out. And that's my issue with him. Is like again, you could when you talk about just pull up the next game. When you talk about Sephiroth. Sephiroth
hmm
is a character that, in a lot of ways, is like goes through the exact same identity of self and crisis that Cloud goes through, right? There is a dark parallel between the two characters. Sephiroth has motivation. He has a backstory. He has a reason, right? There's trauma. Like Kuja has that, right? Like most like developed characters do. And I think even like Golblez, even though he's not the main antagonist, right? He's the an
no, Golbez
antagonist.
definitely does, yeah. But like, yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I just don't. I don't. I guess maybe to me, you could be right about those things that you're saying. It's I
And
guess it's
and
just
I'm looking at
it's
it
hard
from,
to like, yeah,
and again, I'm not saying that necessarily diminishes the overall story because I think having a strong antagonist helps. Kafka does his job as a villain because again, the story isn't villain focused so much
right.
as it
It's
is
not right,
character focused, right?
right.
Like his name escapes me. It begins with the G again. I know it does. The what is his name? The true ruler of Vector,
Oh, Gastal.
Gaston, right? To me, Gaston is a more interesting villain because he has motivation. He has stuff. He's the one who actually kidnaps Terra. He's the one who
Yeah.
goes into this stuff and whatnot. Um, and you know, to me, he is more of a driving force. You know, throughout the
Right.
story too.
Right.
Um, but like again, it's just like, but he gets kind of President Shinrid. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yep.
So, um, but like whether
Yeah. I
it's,
mean, yeah.
it's like for example, it's like Terra never gets that moment to really confront him either, right?
Right.
And
Right.
it's like you feel dissatisfied in that kind of, it's like the potential of like her confronting the surrogate father who stole her from her real parents,
Right.
right?
Right.
There's a lot of stuff there that could be done, and to me, he's because he's so instrumental in everything else, and then Kefka kind of just comes in and like, haha,
Well, yeah, but
I
doesn't
take
Kafka
it.
strike you as someone who's just like motivated by power?
Well,
Like when
I,
I'm thinking about all the things that he does in the game, right? Like you're right, like he leads people, but all the bad things he does in the game is because he's trying to get close to the emperor, to climb the ranks, to get power, and then just backstab him in the end and take all the power because he's nuts, you know.
well, I mean,
And
but he never kind of, again, he doesn't backstab him until he backstabs him. You know what I'm saying?
well, that's when he has the chance, like to in front of the statues and everything.
I,
All
I
of his all of his goals are right in front of him, right in
Sure,
that
I guess,
moment.
but again, the goal is you ask like power for what, and is that search for power? Like I think you are maybe right now. I would have to replay the game and really
Yeah,
pay attention to the context because I do think he is interested in power,
right.
but to which capacity is it set up, whatever. But still, there would be the issue of like, well, power for what? He ends up with all the
And
power, and
yeah,
then for
for what
why
purpose?
do you
I
want
would say
power?
it's not that uncommon for people have a power. We're not. Are we still streaming or?
Yeah, we're still streaming.
Okay, I think that people who have a power priority in their and their personality don't really have a lot of thinking past what they do with it, if that makes any sense. So like once they get there, it's just I don't know, it's hard to
I could
like
kind of.
I don't think that power rationale mesh very well usually, right? So it doesn't. I think power and emotion, people like, how do I say this, making emotional decisions or being compulsive in nature go much more commonly together. So
Well,
um
again, and I think a lust for power is fine, but I also think why the question becomes why too. It's like
yeah,
if people want power, let me just throw in another. I
sure,
can't because it's a spoiler. It's a spoiler for something for Devil May
okay,
Cry, so we're not gonna do it.
okay,
But
okay,
like
okay,
a characters in Devil May Cry, they want power, and they have a reason that they want power, right?
right.
They like something was traumatic that changed them, and they did never wanted to have that feeling of being unable to control what's going on ever
Yeah,
again.
but that's assuming that those characters are rational in nature. I mean, you like the if Kefka is intended to be uh kind of crazy, right? Which I think is his intention of the character, right? There's just not going to have like rationale in their goals. They're just not going to. They're going to do things to climb the ladder. They lack a strong compass, right? Like going against orders, trying to burn down Figaro Castle and poisoning the water and like doing all these underhanded things and even like attacking his own people. Like
And
so just to kind of like find like, because one, he doesn't care about um people, and two, he's like impulsive, and even like you see this in his expression. Something doesn't go his way and he'll bounce around the screen and kind of laugh like hysterically. There's just not a lot of like thinking besides that. So it doesn't surprise me. I guess to me that's why it seems congruent, because it's just how it is. But do I think he's like the most interesting villain? No, no,
mhm.
no. There's not, because they're like beyond what I'm saying. There's no depth to it. Like that's it, right?
Yeah, I think
You know,
yeah, and I think maybe also around the time the I'm crazy and like because I'm crazy, like I'm unpredictable, like that
hmm,
maybe have been a popular thing at the time, but I think it just doesn't age well because it
sure,
just it lacks the human element, right? And I think some of the best villains, and I think all the best villains probably, there's some ability of relatability to this character,
Yeah, I
right?
agree.
And
I agree.
if you remove the relatability, and Kefka has nothing to relate to, you know what I'm
No.
saying?
Right.
And because of that, and because there's no backstory, we have no idea where he came from. We don't know
Right.
he has no real goals or motivations. It becomes impossible to latch onto, and that's why like a lot of people when they talk about Kefka's such great, they'll just talk about like, well, he poisoned the well,
Mhm.
like he killed Cyan's family. But then like I had a discussion with somebody literally today. I was like, you're right, he did. But you know what's very interesting about that? It doesn't create a personal connection between him and Cyan because
Right.
he didn't try to kill Cyan's family. That was they were collateral in something else.
Right.
But
Right.
in a perfect contrast to this, I said when President Shinra drops the plate on Sector 7, he's trying to kill Avalanche. All
Right.
those other people die because he's trying to get at them. Whereas the
Mhm.
opposite happens here. Kefka just wants this battle to be
He
over,
wants the castle. Right.
so he wants castle. So he just poisons the thing to kill everybody. So they're collateral. So it's even though Cyan comes out and he's enraged, there's still no personal connection. He doesn't really even have personal connection to any of the pro tags either, which makes it frustrating, right? It's
Yeah.
like
Well,
you have
I think that his design isn't like if you think about the design of the game by the which is this is more of a defense of the game than Kafka, is that it's supposed to be about the protagonist game,
I think you're
right?
right.
So I think if you don't have a bad guy that's just bad and easy to hate, right? Then that's going to take away from telling of the story of the 14 characters that exist in that game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of if that's the case, right, I think I appreciate that as a storytelling device, just to kind of not humanize him in a way, so that you could have a bad guy, like just to be a bad guy, um, whereas like Seven, like let's talk about a game like Seven, like Sephiroth is the antagonist, but it's not really about beating Sephiroth. It's about saving the planet,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like that's your goal in the game. But whereas like Six is about beating the bad guy, right? What's like Final Fantasy V about saving the world and bringing back the crystals. It's like the same sort of thing, right? I mean, eight. I think we can agree that eight is just all over the place and it's hard to.
Yeah.
you know, you
Eight
know what
is
I
a
mean?
real step back. It
Yeah,
really is. Like, cause like when I think like Ultimisia
and you're
and
right.
Kefka are pretty like to me they're very similar in terms of like they're just nothingness, right? Like it just in
Yeah,
terms of that.
sure.
Like but the thing is by the time they get to Ultimisia, they should know better at that
Yep,
point. They have a scenario writer. It's sandwiched between Kuja and Sephiroth, who are two deep characters with real
yep.
problems, very
So
interesting
let's
characters.
talk about Kuja too, right? Like let's talk about the end goal of beating Final Fantasy IX. It's about saving the world, Gaia, from becoming Terra.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really about beating the bad guy. You know what I mean? And I think those make for very good stories. I would say if you're trying, like in this, like you mentioned, a scenario, like that's how you keep congruent all the thesis of a story. How you can bring things together. You can have some personal growth and development. You can get behind all of your characters, not just your protagonist. It makes for a good story,
Mm-hmm.
but it
Yeah.
just doesn't make for a story that has a bad guy that it's okay not to like that bad guy, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you know
but
that Sakaguchi considers FF9 the best Final Fantasy?
oh no, I didn't know that. But if I'm thinking objectively, right, I'm just taking my nostalgia hat off and I'm taking my emotion out of it. I would state I think it probably is the.
Yeah.
Um,
It
I
was the
really like
last
that. Yeah.
last one that he worked on. Like
Yeah.
so, in case you didn't know, like they after 7 the team split, and
Yep.
one team went to go work on 8 and he went to go work on 9, and he
Hmm.
said that was he thinks that's the best and most ideal Final Fantasy, and there's the most of him in that than any other Final Fantasy. It was like everything that he wanted to do with the classic games like brought to the level that he wanted to, and I think it's really great. I think nine like really stands the test of time because I think it does enough classic stuff while also having the great modern themes and
Yeah.
scenario writing of
Yeah.
the PlayStation generation.
Yeah, and it feels like a complete story.
Yes, it
Right,
does. It has a fantastic ending.
Yep.
Too. It's great. It has the actual it's the actual best love story, right? On the place. Not Squall over Noah. Zidane and Garnet is the actual best love story, right? Between
Yeah,
those two.
I
You
agree.
know,
I agree.
like
Yeah, and I think that they did a really good job with their writing of it, and like even when I go back and play 7, like some of the text doesn't, it just feels incomplete to me. I can't pick out an example, but like I don't know, maybe I'll play it again and I'll point, which are minor, like you can still count lines, but
yeah. Well, that's all.
nine, 9 doesn't have any of that as far as it just feels good start to finish,
Well,
and I really like it. I was it's aged very well.
Kyle, the reason for that I actually learned recently.
Hmm.
You should. I sent you a link. It should still be in the
Oh
Discord
yeah, yeah.
chat.
Hmm.
The Last Elixir production guys.
Hmm.
So like, there's a lot of unearthing about the development history of Final Fantasy VII, and a
Hmm.
lot of stuff was being changed like 3 months out from the game being shipped. Still,
I see.
so what
Okay.
was happening is that like the English translators were getting stuff thrown across their desk last minute to make
Hmm.
changes to the scenario, and because of that and how small they were, sometimes they got rushed on things,
Right.
right? And that's why sometimes things get a little like hectic and whatnot.
And that's okay. That's okay because I don't think it makes it their work how to say this. The game is understandable,
Mhm.
right? I can understand what's happening. Just like I can use my imagination,
Mhm.
so,
Oh,
and or I can find things that are entertaining and similar to how when I played 6, right?
mhm. Did you know
You
that
know,
actually this scene that we're looking at right now on
hmm,
our on the screen, the exact
yeah,
that was not in the original release of Final Fantasy VII.
interesting.
It
It
was
came out that
added.
later.
It was added in the international version, the U.S. release.
Hmm.
Because I think you might know that also, like Diamond and Ruby are not, not Diamond,
Yeah,
Emerald and Ruby are not in
yeah,
the original Japanese release.
yeah. They're only in the U.S. release. Yeah.
And
Yep.
this scene wasn't in that release. I didn't know that until recently. But basically, they felt like Zach needed more. So the secret scene in the basement of the Nibelheim mansion was added to give him more because initially
That's cool.
you just saw him in the Nibelheim flashback
Right.
when you see him at when Sephiroth reveals what really happened, right?
Hmm.
So they were like, well, we want to give like there's more to this character that we want to say, so
Yeah.
they took the time to add all of this in there. I think it was very interesting. That was I have to rewatch the video. I think that was Nojima that did it. I think
Hmm.
Nojima did this. Like Zack got added pretty close to the end of the game. They
Hmm.
added him in because they were trying to figure out how something was off about the way like Cloud's memories and everything were coming together, and they were like,
Yeah.
"It's not working. What's not working?" And then Zack was like created like right near the end of the scenario writing, and like Nojima like putting a character request. Just watch the video. It's great. Really watch those videos if you get a chance. Like
Yeah.
they're really really good stuff
Yeah, I
about
will
Final
check them
Fantasy
out
VII.
because the thing I liked about Final Fantasy VII the most, there's a lot to like about that game, right? But the thing as far as the story goes, is that whole reveal, right? And then Cloud losing his mind, and then the journey for Cloud like finding his actual identity, and like to me, like that's the best part about the game,
That
100%.
it's what's great too about that. Everybody thinks the twist that's never played Final Fantasy VII. Everybody thinks the twist is that Eris dies.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
they
I
they,
know.
that's not the real twist.
No,
And
no, it's
that's what's
not.
great. So like that twist has eluded so many people that they go in and they think they know what the big twist of FF7 is, and then
Yeah,
they get to that point, they're like, "What the fuck is what?
yeah,
What?"
yeah.
Uh, It's great.
Yeah, it is great. It is super good. It's super top tier story writing for sure.
You got it when you get to a
Yeah,
chance to play Rebirth. The
yeah.
stuff they're doing in Rebirth to like, it's it's just it's really good. They really are like they don't get to that point in the story yet, but the way that they are subtly setting it up and the way
Hmm.
they're using time and experience to kind of like find more rationale that the
Mm,
characters are justifying to themselves why
hmm.
Cloud makes
Cloud's acting
mistake.
weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cloud, like why things aren't lining up. Right? It's such good stuff. It's really like they really went back in and they were like, okay, cool, because I
yeah.
think
I
the
can
biggest
sort
one.
of see like in my. I gotta beat that freaking box game in remake. Once I get through that, I'm done with remake. But I can sort of see how like that would make sense and like how characters wouldn't notice those things in remake because it's just like one survival situation after another throughout the right. So when you're with like let's imagine you're with Cloud right and he's just kicking it like fucking shit up the whole time start to finish. His tactical actions always work out right. Like you're not really experiencing it in long term in a social setting right. So in a game like Rebirth, which seems like you're slower, like from what I know, seems to be like there's more characters getting to know each other. Like that could come out more. I can see that being good.
Yeah. Yeah. The way that Nibelheim flashback is handled, there's a lot of really, really good stuff in that game. Like,
Hmm.
and when you get a chance to play it, the reality is, you don't have to do all the side content if you're not feeling it. Like, there's a lot to do, and they do that on purpose. So people just get too caught up in it. Like they want to
Yeah,
do, they get that at grind hunt, and
yeah,
I
I
didn't
do too.
mind any of that. Like to be, I was fine with it. But I guess some people are like they don't want to do all the side quests. Well, you don't
Yeah.
have to. Like you
I
can
didn't have
just
any trouble with the side quests and remake until I got to the stupid box battle.
no. Like
Yeah.
for seven, there's just for Rebirth, there's a lot to do. So like there's a lot of
Yeah.
different side quests that unlock side quests in different areas.
Mm.
There's a lot of them that are narrative focused. There's some that like people consider busy work, and that's the stuff that people like get
Hmm.
annoyed about. There's some
Yeah.
busy work ones, but like there's just a lot, and you don't have to do them, right? There's
Right.
some that are really cool and they have cool little narrative um,
Hmm.
implications. And there's a secret boss there
Okay.
in one quest line, a really cool secret boss. I think he's the toughest boss in the entire game. I
Mm.
think he is. He's a secret boss, and he's really it's a fantastic fight if you can get to him. But there's just lots of cool stuff to do. Like take the time, do the stuff you want. If you're not feeling it, just move forward with the story. And there's a lot of
Hmm.
great character moments built in there too. And I think you'll really like how they handle a lot of that too. Like the way they have reverence for all of the major key elements too,
Hmm.
I think will bring a smile to your face.
Okay, good.
So,
Because that's what I get worried about with that.
mhm. Anyway,
You know, but
we,
that's
we,
good.
we've spent an extra 30 minutes yapping about Final Fantasy. How,
Yeah,
how
dude.
can we not? We're in the middle of playing a Square classic, Secret of
Hmm.
Evermore.
It's
But
true. You're right.
um, we will continue Sunday at latest. We will continue, and
Um,
hopefully, maybe we'll beat the game on Sunday. But
yeah, and if you can get well tomorrow night. Oh, Friday night was going to be fine for me. Saturday night is not going to work. But if
Saturday,
you
Saturday,
find some time tomorrow,
hey,
I know tomorrow you're doing Tekken, right? But so if you feel good after that, or if you get done early, shoot me a text, and
am
I'll
I
have.
doing Tekken tomorrow night?
I thought you said you were going to Khan's shop. Is that
I
not
went. I
going?
went to con. Uh, we're gonna end the recording here. Thanks everybody, and then we'll talk about that. Well.
Don't you find it? Yeah, I love how like the cartoon
Secret of
so
Evermore.
much that they
Squaresoft.